So I was looking around the internet trying to find the best settings for the Sony Bravia 8 Mark II and a bunch of other TVs. And when you do that, you try to find like a list of like who makes good settings and like who knows their shit. And the only people who come up is like Rtings. You'll have one-off people on like AVS forums that like have ideas as to what they think make good settings, but for the most part, almost nobody does it, which is weird because we have a lot of so-called experts in the space, and it's very strange to me. So I'd like your help with something, genuinely asking, because I really want to challenge this. I have a claim that I am the best in the world at what I do when it comes to TV calibrations. While not the most humble statement, trust me, I get it. I want to put it to the test. So I'm challenging every single calibrator, everyone watching this video and that could watch the video, and spread the word. If they think they have better settings, give them to me and we'll put them to the test. I'm going to compare the absolute best the industry has to offer to my so-called unorthodox TV calibrations and show you what it looks like when you have something that's not a reference versus a reference, and see if it's something that can actually benefit you and how much of their picture quality can you see. So right now we're going to start with Rtings, and as you guys give me more people that have more settings, offer your settings on your own or things like that, we're going to expand on this, and we're going to continue this series as long as possible just to show you the differences between the free stuff out there that a lot of people say to go to outside of what I offer. And the reason I say that is because there isn't anything like this right now. There is no service that offers for $5 you get access to all the settings I can make within the month, and you have all of that. And then in addition to that, the entire backlog of all my settings, and then they are fantastic, I'd like to think, comparatively to what I've seen from reference accuracy. And I'm going to show what that looks like by doing to the letter everything Rting settings has and other settings has. So if you think this is a really cool topic, smack like on this video. I know I have gotten this as a request quite a few times. Haven't really found the time to do it between being sick and work and life and family, but now we're doing it along with our buyer's guide. So strap in, because this is going to be an insightful video. Okay, so we're going to go through Rting settings right now. I went through, plugged them all in to save you a little bit of time on the video, but let's go through. So they recommend you use professional mode. We're going to go to the brightness tab and just give out the settings that they gave us. Okay, so brightness for SDR, we lowered that all the way down to minimum. We have the contrast at 90, 0 on gamma. We have black level at 50, black adjust off, advanced contrast enhancer off, peak luminance set to high. We go to color where we have that set to 50, 0 on the hue, live color off, expert 1 for color temperature. Under advanced color adjustments, we do the following: -4, max, -6, -4, -2, and -2. Then we go to the advanced color temperature where we do the following, starting from the very first color gamma adjustment point, where we have -7, -12, and -7. Then we go into 2, where we have +4, -1, and -1. For 3, we have -5, -6, and -4. For 4, we have -3, -3, and -5. For 5, we have -1, -2, and -1. For 6, we have -1, -2, and -2. And for 7, we have 3, 1, and 1. For 7, we have 2, 0, and -2. For 9, we have -2, -1, -2. And last but not least, for 10, we have 3, -1, and 0. They don't do anything for the per color adjustment. It's literally just all zeroed out, but I'll also show you that each individual one is literally left to the default zeroed out, so there's nothing done there either. And that's really it. These are the Rtings.com settings that pretty much everybody who wants quick, fast settings go to online. And these are literally the settings that, again, everybody clamors over as, I don't know, a good alternative, okay? This is what they look like, right? This is the look, right? Rtings.com. Now I'm going to show you what my settings look like. These are my settings. This is what my work looks like, right? So we go from this point, which, again, I think looks a whole hell of a lot better than what Rtings was giving you for free. And I'm going to show you what Rtings dials their TV in like. This is literally Rtings.com. So now I'm going to sweeten it a bit. I'm going to actually show you some footage, okay? Because I think when you see something in motion and you see different lighting and everything like that, it'll actually drive it home what's actually happening as far as the setup and the settings and all that good stuff. So I want something that's going to have a good amount of color to it. I usually love using the LG demo here. It just really does wonders for you. So I'll actually show this like this, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to do one full playthrough with it with Rtings.com settings, as you're clearly seeing right here. There's settings all set up. And then we're going to go through and show you it with my settings. And right now, this is me giving my opinion on these settings. The first thing I notice is it's really washed. There's not a lot of vibrancy to the picture. It has a very old school kind of look. Think projector back in the 90s kind of deal. Again, it just looks very old. Like if I looked at this TV and was like, oh, it's a modern TV. I mean, they find ways to make the processing look old. And I don't know how people can say that this is calibrated. This is it. I mean, yeah, the numbers say that, right? But this is me showing you in real time too. Like those reference standards are old as fuck. And it's showing on the Sony Bravia 8 Mark II that has quantum dots, known for its vibrancy. I mean, you're kind of seeing what that equates to in real world content. Not a whole lot. And I'm not really impressed when I look at this and I see scene for scene, just the dress alone, it's dead. There's nothing there at all. I mean, this is really, really hard to look at and watch. And I couldn't imagine playing video games like this, watching the news like this, watching any movie like this, really. Like, nah. I mean, your whites are good, don't get me wrong. I mean, but I think the other thing that a lot of people have to realize with TV calibrations is, you know, you always have to pick. You're going to have to pick between the primary colors in the TVs. Either you're going to trend more red, blue, or green. There's no in between. And the calibration standard trends more blue on purpose. Again, this is because it increases vibrancy or the vivid impact. Also, brighter TVs are more aesthetically pleasing, and when you have a blue wavelength, it does attract the eye far quicker because per color science and the way it dictates, our eyes gravitate towards blue faster than any other color, and it's the easiest thing to see a change in, which is why it's the most damaging light as well, because it's the one we're most sensitive to with our eyes. And in addition to that, I mean, you know, with that extra blue light, it genuinely pumps up all the primary colors. Reds, blues, and greens get a bit more vivid typically. But of course, like this, you're not seeing that at all. You're not actually seeing where this is a wonderful picture and where it looks great and anything like that. And instead, it just looks dead, is the only word I could use to describe this as dead. And again, this isn't, you know, Rtings doing. They're calibrating to the existing reference, but I'm saying that there's higher out there. And I'm about to show you what that higher looks like. And these are my settings. So immediately you'll notice that there's a significant uptick in all your colors, red, I mean, everything. I mean, I don't even have to list the colors individually. I know for a fact you could see it now. It's like you actually have a quantum dot OLED. And this is like one of my big gripes that I've had for years, over a decade at this point, with the way that the industry does settings. It's like, on the one hand, I have my hecklers, like anybody who's doing something that's actually helpful. You'll have people always telling you, oh, that's not helpful, or, you know, haters gonna hate, right? But it goes a step above that, because it's not just hatred, it's people literally just saying that my results aren't what they are. Like literally trying to pretend like my stuff looks oversaturated or bad or like terrible because it's not targeting washed out. People literally pretending for pretending's sake, or for pretending's sake. I mean, hey, people love to play pretend all the time. But I wanted to start this series and show you this just so you could see with your own eyes too. Like, there's a lot more happening out there than what people are saying. And I think you could see it too. You could see the colors, you could see the sharpness and clarity and everything like that, you know. But even above that, I think you can see just the realism and how wonderful it all looks too. I think, again, this is a way better, at the very least, a starting point if you didn't like what I had to do to customize your TV from than what they give you. Just my little thing there. The fruit and everything looks good and everything, but I don't know. I see just a wealth of color, a wealth of detail, and even though reference standards are reference accurate, they do a poor job, and I mean a piss poor job, of providing something that human beings actually want to look at. It's more about adhering to numbers, not what actually looks good and what the TV can actually do. And that's where I kind of have my biggest protest when I talk about like industry standards versus what I do, because as you're clearly seeing now, it's literally a day and night difference. And if I were to show this example in any other context, most people would be like, oh, you're lying. Oh, you're just trying to discredit someone. Oh, you're attacking another YouTuber. I'm not attacking anybody. I haven't said a disparaging thing. I'm just pointing out the obvious, that your TVs are capable of more. And I think the more I do this series and the more I show you across multiple models, I think that will become very evident. Because yeah, there are out of the box settings, but then let's say you go to a professional calibration over on Rtings.com, you're still not doing much better than you were out of the box, which I'll also show you that too, because I don't think people fully appreciate that fact either, that like it's not so much better than out of the box when you look at Rtings.com settings. So let's dive back on over to their settings. Now, before I actually play what I have loaded up for Rtings settings, I'm going to show you calm. This is in the default mode, and this is Rtings settings. So between calm and Rtings settings, you get more detail for sure. So you can clearly see like this is their calibration, but you also lose those warm tones. They take them away entirely in favor of this like greenish hue. It just doesn't look very good. I mean, that's what reference calibrations tend to do though. They remove and sap out your color. It gives you extra contrast, but how beneficial is that really? Out of the box, you were at a better starting point than what you would be at with Rtings settings if you like vibrancy and color. If you like contrast, you're in a bit better point with Rtings, but I feel like any newbie with a remote can kind of figure out how to do this too. It's not really very difficult, but this is the difference. You're not in a significantly better position with Rtings settings at all. In fact, your yellows kind of go to the wayside too. And I think that's, again, the most important thing to show everybody is like these professional calibration settings, they aren't fantastic. So again, just showing this example again to, again, reiterate that point. But let us now go to something a bit more colorful. I like this demo because there's a lot of real world and natural colors that you will come across in movies and TV shows. So this is like one of my favorite demos to use. And as you can clearly see, everything is just kind of greenish blue. It has that kind of hue to it, not really impressing me. And like, this is how they're telling you to watch your TV. I'm not impressed by it at all. I think there's a lot that can be accomplished with not doing it this way. I think it looks very, well, to say the absolute bare minimum, it looks very subpar to me personally, because as I look at it, I see nothing of actual quality or like something people would actually want to look at. I see a very shitty image. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, again, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Okay. Like I've seen definitely way worse than this on, especially TCL out of the box for sure. Green everywhere. Terrible. Hisense too. But it's not fantastic either when you look at what they're doing for, again, like it's a calibration, and most people will end up going to Best Buy or paying, hundreds of dollars thinking, oh, this is great. This is fantastic. I've got my TV all calibrated by a level 3 ISF calibrator. Oh shit, it's about to look amazing, y'all. And this is what it looks like. And then if you compare it to the out of the box settings, and you can get an idea, I'll go between calm and professional. So this is the professional mode here. We're going to go to calm. You know what I mean? Between calm and professional, calm has better red. You end up losing that. And I mean, I personally, if I'm being real with you, and if I had to pay for a calibration, I don't see a point in paying for these professional type settings because they don't look very good. Like, yeah, you get a little extra contrast, but that's really about it, honestly. It doesn't do much more than that, and it makes everything really, really blue. And again, look at the ball pin right now. Like, this is how they're getting down. This is what they're doing. That's ridiculous. I mean, just look at that. Now, I guess if you don't know comparatively what it would look like, I should run it back and then show you so you can kind of see, like, I'm trying to show you a full picture here. of what you're not getting when you use those free settings, right? So I'm going to go ahead and plug my settings back in. See the difference? You immediately get more life, more color, more expression, more everything, honestly. It's not even like the same TV anymore at all. And it's not just like a saturation parlor trick either, where I'm ramping everything up to 100 or anything like that. It's actual balancing of the TV's features to bring out the peak of the panel. The absolute performance that you expect when you spend a shit ton of cash on a Sony product. That's what I'm giving you. And just for perspective, if we go back to an image like this and we look at this pug here, try to rewind that a little bit. Okay, pause right there. This is what it's going to look like with my settings. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like with Rtings settings. And that's what they give you. It's really washed. And again, maybe some people like this neutral, sucked out color look. They anytime see a vibrant picture think it's oversaturated. Believe me, I've seen a lot of those comments, but it's not oversaturated, my guy. It's vibrant. And vibrant images are natural in the world. I mean, you're going to see sunsets, you're going to see things with natural color. But if you watch everything like this, there's almost no fun in it, really. And I'll pull up another example like this TCL example, just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about too, because I think TCL has some of the better demo examples too. Okay, we'll show you, I think it's this one right here, all right? And you can see like, it just lacks a ton of picture quality that you would expect for this price range. I mean, and again, if you have no experience with this and you don't really have a whole lot of standards for it, you could easily look at this and be like, well, what's wrong with the image? I don't see anything wrong with it. It looks fine. I mean, I have good contrast and clarity, and colors have brightness to them, and you know, they look vibrant enough for me. They don't look crazy, especially if you come from these really old TVs and you've always kind of just pulled it out of the box and not ever tried to touch your remote, not ever see what features are put there for the users to actually enjoy and enhance their content on screen. Then you likely have never really seen an image beyond what like the reference standard out of the box looks like, which again is not a fantastic starting point. Which is why I can tell you, if you go beyond the reference point, you go beyond the basic, you go beyond what they give you, and you actually try, you're going to start to see an entirely different world open up before you. And that's really what we're talking about here. A whole world of difference that exists that you probably didn't know existed because you were too busy trusting industry experts over your own eyes. People who were telling you that you had the most amazing thing out there, but you not actually ever genuinely seeing that. I think that's really like the biggest disservice too. And that's something that we see constantly. And so I wanted to make this video to kind of point that out. Again, there's not really a whole lot I'm going to say much more than that in this video outside of this last example where I'll show you, just watch this opening scene. Look at how dead all of this is right now. You can go to rtings.com, you can go to AVS Forum, you can go to HGTV Test. This is what they give you. And some are worse than others. I think out of all of them, Rtings gives you the most complete settings out there. Nobody else really does that, but then they stand on this like credibility that isn't earned. See, when you're an expert of something, you provide your knowledge and you actually show where you're an expert of something outside of like closed door tests or claims of certain things. You show an actual aptitude and understanding for the thing that you say you understand. I see so many so-called AV professionals say that they are experts, and people swear up and down and defend them that they're experts. But when it comes time to make a good picture, they don't make a good picture. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking very hard at rtings.com and HGTV Test because these reference standards, they have to improve, and they don't improve with people blindly following them. But if you think about it, it's just blindly followed and accepted that this was created years and years ago, 35 years ago, and because it's 35 years old, we can never change it and adjust it. We don't have to. It's the industry standard. It's the standard way of doing everything. I mean, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. So I'm going to show you what my settings look like with this exact ramp on the Sony Bravia 8 Mark II, and you tell me which one you'd pick. All right, and now we're beginning the ramp. And you can kind of see a lot more of the richness of color that I was talking about or referencing earlier, how deep everything gets. again, it's downright impressive. I mean, I don't think there's too many other ways you could say that outside of, yeah, it's just impressive compared to where the other guys have their settings at. And again, it is what it is. People are going to have their preferences or what have you. But I'm showing you something very, very amazing. Now, another thing that's really amazing too is if you consider that this is just one of my settings. I have multiple for this particular TV. So let's say we wanted to use something like, vivid. My vivid settings get brighter. So if you wanted extra brightness out of the Sony, you would actually get that with my settings. And the pop is just ridiculous. Way beyond anything that you would get out of the box or with the other settings that they have to offer you. And the point of showing you this is, again, so that you realize that the landscape of like televisions is a lot broader than you think. It's not as limited as the crappy image quality that they show you. You have to learn what each TV does and each preset's behavior, and you can't just, unfortunately do the lazy thing that most calibrators do and say, oh, well, I calibrated it to industry standards and that's all I needed to do. There's a lot more to the job, and that's the point. Let me know what you thought about this, though, in the comments down below and what you want to see next. I have a couple TVs that we can get this going on, but I really think this is something that's an interesting conversation that we need to start having. But again, let me know what your thoughts were on this particular comparison. And as always, I want to thank you so much for watching the #1 brand in honesty. Until the next video, I'll see you guys later.